20 years ago, as a senior rabbinical student, I was asked to give my senior sermon on this week's Torah portion of Tazria Metzora. Now, having no desire to delve into the world of skin diseases, swellings, rashes, and other impurities, I did what any rabbinical student in his or her own right mind would logically do. I traded it with another student and gave my sermon on a more topical portion. It is ironic that the Torah portion that is usually so remote from our lives is perhaps more relevant today than any other portion. Tazria Metzora is filled with references to diagnostic testing, quarantining, social distancing, and even face covering. V'im beheret levanahi be'or b'saro. And if the bright spot is white, then the Kohen will isolate the affected person for 7 days. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? The Torah tells us about cases of confirmed sara'at, saying, Badad yeshev michutz lamachane moshavo. He shall dwell apart, his dwelling shall be outside the camp. And so even in ancient times, in order to prevent harming others, we were commanded to physically distance ourselves. Later we learn of a different type of affliction, sara'at of the home, of the bayit. When sara'at of the home is suspected, one must leave the house and take out all of his or her possessions to expose everything that was previously hidden in private. The Rabbi suggests that sara'at was a punishment for lashon hara, of speaking ill of others, of defamation. One who is too intrusive and does not respect the privacy of others must be distanced from everyone else. But interestingly, they suggest that sara'at of the house is a punishment for the exact opposite behavior. One who closes oneself in, who stays home and refuses to help others. Sara'at of the body requires us to distance from others in order to avoid harming them. But sara'at of the home reminds us that we are connected and dependent on one another, and that one who is only concerned for him or herself, one who hoards possessions in his or her own home and refuses to help others, will ultimately need to answer for those actions. One of the things that we have been reminded of during this period of distancing and quarantining at home is how much we really do rely on one another, and that our physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being is directly linked to how we help and support each other. As a society, we seem to have had forgotten that. As we begin to reimagine what our world will look like on the other end of this crisis, I hope and pray that one of the things that we will bring along with us is a more caring, supportive, and connected community. Shabbat Shalom.